What is up, everybody? It's your girl Jada Reese here, aka Diamond, back with another video. And today I'm going to be doing the Worth the Read Big Book tag. This tag was created by Shelly, and her ad is Shellish, and she created this tag basically for those mammoth of a book that people are particularly afraid to read, and mainly because it's just like, why the hell is this book so long? But her tagline is that some books might be big, but they are most definitely worth the read, worth your time and energy, and they are very rewarding at the end. And I totally agree with that sentiment. And when I watched her video, she basically said that if you watch my video, you were tagged. So I took that very seriously, and I said, well, you know what? I have a few books that I can add to the conversation that I spent a lot of time with, that I love, and that I still think about to this day. These are characters that will never, ever go away from my mind. And I'm going to talk about the first one, which is Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. This is a book about cowboys. Well, first they were what do you call those people? Rangers. They were Texas Rangers turned cowboys, and it is just about 800 pages. Let's see. I think just under, depending on which, so just depending on which edition that you have. I have a first edition here. So this one is 700, and this one is 700 and this one's 760 pages, but almost all the newer or latest editions are 800 or more pages. So this book definitely counts. It's all about the margins and the paper style and everything like that. So yeah, this book is most definitely worth everybody's time. It follows Cal and Augustus and a host of other characters that you are introduced to and you will never forget about. This story is endearing. You follow an epic of sorts. They are going from Texas to Montana because apparently that's just the new place that everybody's moving. There's a good hunt, good game there, good land for you to settle on. All the things that they are not used to being in Texas. Texas is very dry. It's getting to be very dangerous. A lot of reform, I guess, is needing to happen. And so they just want adventure. They want something new. And so that's why they set out for Montana. And it takes them a long time to get there, hence all of these pages. And so what you get is a lot of adventure, a lot of fun, a lot of struggle, a lot of strife, a lot of grief, a lot of love moments, a lot of mystery. There's so much to gain from a story like this. And all in all, it's just a story of found family, about familiarity, about relationships, about friendship. And it's just one of those stories that you just will never forget. It's very rewarding. And I would say this book, to me, this book is really good for people who need a specific type of perspective of the world, of their worldview. One of the reasons why I read, of course, is to gain knowledge, but another aspect is to help me more and more with the way that I view other people, and to allow me more room for empathy in my life, and seeing the stories or understanding the stories of other people who I definitely have a different worldview from, helps with that piece of my ever-growing puzzle. And this book added to that, and I adore this book. I adore these characters, and Larry McMurtry, this solidified him as one of my favorite authors. I've yet to pick up another book of his, but he has so many. I don't know where I want to go next. I have purchased Comanche Moon. I got a really beautiful copy of Comanche Moon. And I do plan on reading that Comanche, because this is a part of a whole saga. And so there's 4 or 5 books in this saga. I don't think I want to read them all, but I do want to read Comanche Moon, because Comanche Moon tells the story of Augustus and Cal when they were Texas Rangers. And I'm really interested in learning about them pre-cowboy. So I do plan on reading that. But with Larry McMurtry in general, he has books like Terms of Endearment, and I've seen that movie, so I can only imagine that the book is beautiful. And then he has one book called The Only Child, It tells the story of a Las Vegas showgirl who gets AIDS, and I'm interested in that. And just, I don't know, it's just, he is just magnificent. All I have to say is Larry McMurtry is just like one of the great American authors, and Lonesome Dove solidified him for me in that way. So just a phenomenal book. This is definitely worth your time if you've not picked it up, and I highly recommend this. The next book is going to be Just a Little Life. Just show a little life next time. If you read this book, you know where I got that from. So anyways, Is a Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. This book is very controversial, widely read, widely talked about, and I honestly highly recommend this book. It did take me a while to finish this novel, but I did finish this novel, and these characters stick with me. They stick with me. All it takes is a reference. If I hear life somewhere, or a little life, I think of this book, and that marks something as solidifying something as a really good novel, a really good piece of literature. And a lot of people say that this book is trauma-based, trauma porn. She wrote this book to make you cry, to make you angry, to make you mad. But in my personal opinion, when you think of all of the things, all the criticisms that people have for a book like this, that means that the book did what it was supposed to do. Honestly, that means that the book gave you exactly what it was trying to give you, pulled those emotions out of you that she was trying to pull from you. And I watched a conversation that she had, an interview of sorts that she had with someone online, where she said that this was her idea of a fairy tale. You know, the things that were happening to Jude in this novel, she would never wish that on anyone. She's never heard all of these things happening, but in hindsight, a lot of the aspects that were in this novel have occurred in people's lives and have happened to children and adults before. But to the extent that she took it for Jude was just it was fairy tale like. So it's just like, I'm not trying to get you guys, I'm not trying to like paint this portrait of something that is super real. It's not real, but it's like a what if type of thing. What if this type of thing did happen in someone's life? How would you react to it? How would you feel about it? So I like that. I'm glad that she said that, and I kind of sort of agree with that, and that made me have a different lens and a different outlook to this novel. But not for nothing, the way that she painted friendship in this book is amazing to me. The highs and lows of friendship, how friends could possibly break apart for years, and then how they suddenly can come back together, how friends could be friends for so long and not recognize that they're actually in love with each other, and how you can see a relationship blossom from that, and how friends can give you meaning to your own life, or give you or share with you what they think of you, or how they view you, and their understanding of you, and how you're one of the most beautiful people in their lives inside and out, and how friends can help you to keep moving and keep going above family, above anything else. That is like one of the key takeaways from this novel for me. Another one of my people that I love how they write friendship is Sally Rooney, but the friendships in this novel is one of the reasons why I think you should read this novel. Hanya Yanagihara, and the fact that she decided to center the voices and the ideas and the principles in the lives of men. I don't read a lot of books where men are the main character, but for some reason, the three mammoths, big books that I am about to talk about today, are all the main characters are men. And that's great. That shows that men can be perceived differently. Men can be painted beautifully. You can understand more about them through the lens of also a male author and a female author. So not for nothing, the friendship in this book is one for the books. The friendship is the key takeaway here. Not even the drama, not even the abuse that one of the main characters is subjected to. The friendship outshines all of that if you look at it from that point of view or that perspective. And that's one reason why I love this book, and one reason why I highly recommend this book. And I think it's worth your time. It's worthy of your time, worth the effort, for sure. And the last mammoth that I read that I want to talk about, because you can mention 3 or more books, is going to be The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. This book follows Theo, our main character, who loses his mom at the beginning of this novel to a terrorist attack. And I think the Metropolitan Museum of Modern Art, and how one of the most famous pictures, the goldfinch, goes missing. And it's no secret that Theo is the person who did take the goldfinch, because that is the last picture that he was looking at and he was discussing with his mom before everything just kind of went crazy, went dark, went black. And so this, I think she took, I've never read any Charles Dickens, but I have seen a few Charles Dickens movies, so I do know a lot about The Great Expectations, Oliver Twist, David Copperfield. I know a lot about those stories, although I have not read those books. I've seen the movie adaptations, and so I can see the inspiration that Donna Tartt took from those novels to be able to give us such a tale of sorts, such an amazing, large, long novel. This book is and I forgot to tell you, I think A Little Life is about 816 pages. And The Goldfinch is, what time is it? The Goldfinch is 771. This particular edition is 771 pages. But yeah, you follow Theo's life, the ups and the downs, the loves of his life, found family, losing family. You follow him trying to figure out life and understand grief. This is definitely this book is largely centered around grief and never truly getting over the death of your parent, and still trying to figure out life and matriculate through that grief, and understanding what your life is supposed to be like, or figuring out what your life needs to be like in the absence of your best friend, who in this case for Theo was his mother. And yeah, this book is beautifully written. It was an ambitious novel, and I think that Donna Tartt did a good job. I think it's worthy of winning the Pulitzer Prize. By the way, Lonesome Dove also won the Pulitzer, so I have 2 Pulitzers on this list. And I don't know what Hannah, okay, so she didn't win anything for this book. It's just widely read and widely talked about, but she was a finalist for the National Book Award. But yeah, Donna Tartt did an amazing job with this one. I loved it very much. I spent a long time with this book, so one of the things about it is I don't think that I love it because it took me forever. I really think I loved it because it just was good. You know, following Theo on his journey, him being in the underworld, the dark world, the dark mysteries behind it, what his friends did to betray him, like all of those aspects. Once again, it really helps with that empathy piece. And I don't know, I think for authors to be able to do something and produce something like this is massive on a grand scale. And yeah, and you love it at the end of the day. Awesome, magnificent. So these 3 books, these are the only books that I've read that are 800 or more, or close to. This is it. I've read some thickies. I have a lot of them, but not this long. And I really am a big book girl. I like big books. So I just haven't read any more that are this long, but I've read 600 pages, and I read a lot of 600 pages, a lot of 500 pages. But yeah, these books right here, these are great. These are my addition to the Worth to Read Big Book Tag. And yeah, if you read these, if you have any that you want to discuss in the comment section, please do so. Of course, I'd love to know what you've read, any big books, any mammoths that you might recommend, what you might have thought about these novels. And yeah, that's that. So once again, that's all I have to offer on this video, and I'll see you guys in my next upload. Deuces.